Someone's
What's
got
up,
a little something
people?
going on. Not you this time, huh?
Nope, not me this time.
Oops, we got caught jamming out here.
I shut it down. So
Oh my gosh, welcome to Andromeda 7 Celestial Gateway. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank you for joining us this Friday night. We appreciate you coming on. We had a change in plans, so tonight we're going to discuss self-love. How do we achieve that? We're going to have little questions and have a little discussion, a further and deeper discussion beyond the self-care routines of, grounding, taking baths, blah, blah, blah. It goes so much deeper than that. So we're going to dig down into that. But at first, let's welcome our beautiful family. Crystal Clear has been in the house. She was the first one to comment.
Yes.
I was like the fifth one to like. Thank you so much, sweetheart. David Castle's in the house. Blessings to you, sir. Gazakov, what's up? Oh my gosh, your garden tips.
They're cool.
Yeah, I gotta get. I think I need to save my cucumbers. But anyway, we got Lucky Stone in the house. Brenda's in the house.
Hi, Brenda. Hope you're healing up.
Yeah, you're soldiering through that so good, Mom.
Yeah.
And then I think Johan's in the house.
Hi,
Johan.
Jojo.
It's so good to see you, Jojo.
Or Johan.
Johan.
Brian used to say, I love that.
Say Johan.
It's Johan.
Oh, his voice is permanently etched into my memory.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so good through. I have a very weird story. Are you guys going to be comfortable with me sharing this with you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little deep.
Don't forget, you got your poem and.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right.
I have a theory real quick.
D. Guthrie.
Okay, so I have a theory. This is just a theory. This isn't what I believe is actually 100%. It was just like a subconscious kind of inclining. You remember when I came to Tennessee, I had an accident.
Yeah.
And I could have died in that accident.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I feel like all I can say is, if you want to know my theory, I feel like it's very, very deep and profound, and it just goes. The theory goes to show how much of a true gentleman Brian was.
Yes.
Yes, he was a true gentleman, and it definitely. When I had that accident, this was a thought that I had after the accident, and a feeling. When he passed away unexpectedly like that, it occurred to me that the thought that I had a couple days after, as I was processing my accident, the only thing I will say, and then I will read the poem, is that Brian Barnett is a true gentleman. True gentleman.
Yes.
Because that should have been it for me.
Yeah.
That should have been
Well,
it. That you guys wouldn't have me right now. You guys wouldn't have me here right now. Wouldn't be doing any of the things that I'm doing. And you're sharing the things that I'm experiencing right now. And he had something to do with that.
Yep. Absolutely.
He
did his part for himself and for others.
He did.
And he got to graduate, and that's the way I see it. He graduated is what he did.
Self-sacrificing.
Yep.
And I am here because of that self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the poem, because I'm going to cry.
It's okay, sweetheart.
All right,
you're
sweetie.
fine.
It's all right.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, so Brenda asked me to read this poem, and It is my honor to do so.
Hey, Mandy.
Hi, Mandy.
Mandy has
We
wings.
made it. All right.
I love it.
All right.
Awesome.
So let's read this poem that Brenda sent me. It has a beautiful picture. I don't think you could see, of a beautiful yellow, it looks like a finch of some kind.
Okay.
So one step can start a journey. One song can change a moment. One smile can start a friendship. One hug can lift a soul. One candle can wipe out darkness. One life can make a difference, and one word can start a prayer. One hope will lift a spirit, and one touch can show you care. Be that one today.
Yep. Awesome.
That just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Wonderful, Brenda.
Awesome, Brenda. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah, I
much,
love
Brenda.
that.
That was beautiful.
It's
Absolutely
true. It
beautiful.
only takes one.
Mhm.
You know, and
What's
I was having a bad hair day yesterday, and I had two sisters who gave me love. You know, that woke me
Aw.
up. They woke me up and they hugged me. You know, they hugged me in a way I needed to be hugged. And then,
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do.
they hold up a mirror for you, and they go, and I'm like, but that hug is there. You know, so,
Yeah, that love and support. That's what
Yeah.
we all need, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what's missing in today's society is that
Yeah.
social. Everyone is just out for each other, and they don't really give a crap about you, and it's
Yeah.
all what they can get. But man, if they would just realize that we're all in this together
Yeah.
and just
We really
help and
are.
support each other, things would
Yeah.
be so much better for
you ever
everyone.
steal somebody's energy on purpose?
Yes.
I always go to Michelle because she's up all night, you know.
Yeah.
Michelle, send me energy now, please. And she does.
She just popped into the
She
chat
just
room. Hi.
sends it to you. Oh, did she? Hi,
Yeah,
Michelle.
hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Uh-oh, I got
Free.
caught talking about Michelle. That's what
It's
I'm
all
talking about.
good.
It's nice to know you've got sisters out there. It's like, you know, and brothers that you can
Yes.
call on. You know, I'm
Yep.
like, I just need a little energy there, sis. You know, and
Yeah.
she
Hi,
always sends
Steve.
it.
Thank you for joining
Yeah.
us, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Steve
you,
and
brother.
Elderberry, Truth
Hi, you
Seeker.
guys. Project
Hi, Barry.
Skyfalls.
Look at all
Yep.
these people that popped in. Hey, Delaney,
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good
they're
to see
rolling
everybody.
in.
Christy. Hi, Christy. Grandpa Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Bunch
it's
of
so
people
good to
jumped in
see you
here.
guys.
Yeah.
So good friends hold mirrors up.
Yes.
If we're not real friends, if we're just gonna bull crap each other and lie, like
Mhm.
let's just be truthful and honest, and you can do it
Yeah.
in a very kind, straightforward,
Yeah.
but not out of a malicious or nefarious way.
No.
You
No.
know, you can hold the mirror up gently, compassion, and turn the mirror around
Susie
on
Q.
yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Susie Q. I love you,
Susie
Susie.
Q.
Susie
Hi,
Q.
Susie. Good to see
It's
you.
not just holding the mirror up. It's not just holding the mirror up, but what we need to do is we need to let the person know that we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're
That's
there.
true.
Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit with
Truth
you
thick
through
and truth
this.
thin. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We are ride all the way out, all the way through.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm in it for the long haul.
Me too. And I think it's really rare to find people who, you know, real friendships, you know, a real friend should be able to call you out, and you should be able to call yourself out and call real friends out in a way that isn't unbecoming of each other's integrity.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We have trouble calling ourselves out because just basic psychology as we know it dictates that there are certain parts of ourselves that we aren't going to see that others are fully aware of. And that's self-preservation. But I think what it is, and so many of us have fallen into addictions. Now, when we think of addictions, we think addiction is drugs or alcohol. And addictions can be toxic relationships. They can be bad eating habits. They can be sleeping all day and not doing the things that we should be. And all of these are bad addictions. And if everything has an opposite, the opposite of hot is cold, the opposite of happy is sad, then addiction needs to have an opposite as well. And that opposite is connection. And when we find connection, we find these bad behaviors and these addictive patterns and toxic patterns that we fall into start to die off, because we have people that call us on our shit essentially and just go, hey, well, I'm here for you, but I'm not going to tolerate this for so long. And that's where we need to support each other and be compassionate, hold that space in compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First
agree.
have that space for yourself. Yeah. Self-preservation first. Then you can help others. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a good thing we got a clip that we're going to show from Michelle. It's her latest video.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, now there's 5 Michelles. This is Michelle Cannon Free.
One L.
She has a message, and it ties in very nicely for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll it.
Let's rock and roll.
And thanks for letting us share.
Yes. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you,
Here
Michelle.
we go, folks.
Hi, Soul Family. I know it's been a minute since I recorded a video. I guess I get nervous, but I'm in my own head, and I think
Can we turn the volume up?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay, thank you, hun.
Well, you lovely, beautiful soul.
There you go.
And I have so much to say, but it's always a matter of time. And also, honestly, just struggling with life. Like, I'm going to be straight up honest. There are times when I feel like I am being pulled or swept away by the undertow of life, of my life. It's a struggle every day to keep my vibration and my frequency high. I think we all have that in common. We're humans, and it's not easy being here at all. Beautiful, wonderful, magical, but it's also extremely challenging. And I just wanted to make a little video to say, first and foremost, how much I love you. Um, know that I think you're all just really doing remarkably awesome with all the challenges that you're facing. And I know there are so many challenges that we have in our own personal lives and just in the world in general. It's a real time to be alive, isn't it? But I just want to remind you all that I think you are fabulous, just so strong, and so incredibly capable of everything that life has to throw at you. I know it. I see it every day, and I'm just in awe, and it's inspiring, and I thank you so much because I need that kind of inspiration in my life for sure. It is, I've mentioned before in my videos, and, and anyone who's watched my videos can hear my son in the background. It's been a really challenging 6 years, for sure. My whole life has been challenging, but I never knew challenges until I had my son. But I realized that you can have a very challenging life and it can still be beautiful and wonderful and you're still blessed. And I just want to speak to that about keeping our vibration high and our frequency high because it is so key. It is so pivotal and the importance cannot be understated at all. And just ways that we can do that because balance is a struggle for all of us. I know it is because it's just there's so much coming at us all the time and if we're not careful, we can let our vibration get too low, and that's we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. We've all been there, and it's not a great feeling. It hurts. It feels terrible. So I just want to speak to some of the quick ways that I raise my frequency when I feel that I can definitely tell based on how I'm operating in my life that it's getting lower. It's needing a boost. So definitely old school way I used to do it with food, sugar. I love sugar, but definitely not the way I want to go about raising my frequency and my vibration because I have had every eating disorder that there is. I've been anorexic, I've had bulimia and binge eating disorder, so I definitely have to be careful with that. So the ways I like to do it, my favorite way of all is just to be outside, be in nature. Um, it's just there's something about breathing that fresh air and seeing the plants and the animals and children playing and just smiling at adults and maybe you have a quick little conversation, maybe you don't. Just even smiling at somebody as they drive by in their car. I mean, it's just there's so much beauty in this world and it's there for us. And it is one of the surefire quickest ways for me to raise my vibration, my frequency, and that's why I'm always out walking, which of course is exercise as well. And you don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to do anything jogging. I mean, if you do that, that's wonderful. But that's just I'm just even a walk, just getting out there and sitting by water, whatever it is, gardening. Um, definitely, definitely healthy and definitely good for you and definitely will raise the frequency and the vibration. We just got through winter, so now it's so wonderful to be outside. Um, when it is winter and it is more challenging to get outdoors. I mean, music always go to number one. Just dancing. I know it's goofy and silly, but sometimes I will do a full-on whole song in front of my phone just to A, I love to dance, it's fun, and B, just to like make myself laugh at some of the moves that I can do. Like goodness knows I probably wouldn't do it in public, but and maybe I would right under the right circumstances. But that's a wonderful way. I mean, it's so true when you're listening to music and dancing. It's like you really aren't in your head. You're not thinking about all the things you have to get done or all the things that are bringing you down. Just definitely never underestimate the power of music. It is spirit medicine, absolutely. And dance, the body is the instrument for the spirit to play. So move it, get your chi flowing, get it moving, keep going and keep flowing. That's what happens when water stagnates. When water is still, I should say, it's stagnant, and we're the same. So we definitely want to avoid that at all costs, and definitely um, just know that these things are readily available. I mean, we all have access to these things. It doesn't require, like, obviously a week in Hawaii would be wonderful, but we're not all in that position. So these are ways that I feel are really accessible to everybody, and it's so important because if we let ourselves get too low, it's such a battle to get back up. So for me, it's like I can now realize when I'm having a really rough day, a really challenging day, and I know immediately I gotta do something to stay around. Even better, you start each day with the gratitude and the mindset of I'm gonna just live in joy every moment that I can, and it's not always easy. And there are plenty of times when it's, it's darn near impossible, but that's when I go to my tried and true ways to raise my vibration, my frequency, like I already mentioned, being outside, moving, exercise, and music. I mean, absolutely. And never underestimate the power of community. All of you have helped me so tremendously since I met you. Some of you have known since 2016, and I just thank you so much for just always being there in my corner and being my cheerleader and leading me on. And it's gotten me through some really, really challenging, dare I say, dark times in my life. So just know I'm so appreciative of all of you. And I just hope that, if anyone ever needs, any sort of lift, please come to me because goodness knows I'm a goofball and I'm weird. So I'm definitely, I'm just an ear and if you need
My
something,
weirdo sis.
I love her.
we're in this together. I mean,
Yeah.
we're in a family and people need people. And even though we are separated, we're not physically together, you know, thank goodness we have the internet and we can reach out to each other and we can be right there for somebody if they need somebody, if they need something rather, or need somebody. Um, 'Cause I would be, I don't know where I'd be without all you guys. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate you all. Just the love and the encouragement just never ceases. It never waxes or wanes. You guys are amazing. So just remember that. If you ever start to doubt yourself, you don't even know the impact you've all made on my life, and I just never could thank you enough for everything. I'd love to know some of the ways that you guys raise your frequency and your vibration.
We'll tell you tonight.
It's great, much the same as the way I do it. And you have other ways you could drop in the comment section. And, we all could need that reminder, use that reminder of, just the simple little joys and the simple little ways that we can keep ourselves vibing high, keeping in that love frequency because, that's what we're here to do. We are love. So we can't pour from an empty chalice, but we need to keep our vibration and our frequency up and keep it a healthy balance and always some fun and joy. It's just so important. I mean, I know life can really get you down, can really bog you down. I just think sometimes you feel like you're gonna be swept away by the undertow of it all. But we've gotten this far. So I think together we can get through it all and just always be mindful of where we're at and what's going on inside and the self care. Taking care of ourselves, a bath, a shower, all else fails. I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can do it. And I mean, it's just reading inspirational quotes and just so many ways, so many ways. Please feel free to drop in the comment section what you do in terms of keeping your vibration and frequency high. Because they're all doing such a great job and they usually help and always could use more uh, tips on how to keep myself elevated because it's such a better way to go through life. Just happy and joyful, grateful, blissful, just focus on blessings. And knowing that when the challenges come, because they will come, for some of us are omnipresent, just knowing that we have what it takes to get through anything. We will rise above, and we'll do it with love, and we'll do it together. Thank you so much for asking. And I really do appreciate you all so very much. And looking forward to reading the different ways and ideas and fun things that you all do, getting to know you all a little bit better. And just until next time, giving you a big hug. We hug ourselves. Be sure. Have a good life. Keep smiling. Keeping that love frequency. The best frequency of all. I love you all so much. Have a great day, night, whatever it is for you. And I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.
I love that.
Perfectly said.
Yeah, and I love how you can just tell that she's needing that energy herself and she's still putting it out there to others just to let them know. And that is so beautiful, to be at a space of like, I just need that energy and to still be putting it out there to others and go, you know what, I'm here to support you if you need me. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good on her. Good for everybody.
She's
that's
made a
watching.
couple recommendations here lately too for some people that might want to come on and talk with us too. So she's looking after the tribe. She always does.
Yeah.
So thank you, sis.
Thank you
Michelle,
so much.
Very
that
much.
was beautiful.
Yes,
Beautifully
it was.
said.
Fantastic.
You know, it's so, it seemed like for me personally, it used to be so easy to sink down into my own self-loathing and despair. Now it's like I'm allergic. I'm almost getting allergic to going that direction or being in that state for any more than 30 seconds. It's like snap, it's just like no. But it goes further than just, we can go outside, we can go for walks, but we have to really do the, like, get down in there.
Yeah.
And you've got to be okay with who you are. Not everybody's going to be okay with you.
So
Crystal, that's okay.
Crystal, there's all kinds of self-love. It's such a broad term.
It is.
There's the superficial. I don't want to call it superficial because it does have meaning, but it's the things like take a bath, take a shower, get your toenails done, get your nails done. The guys, whatever the guys do, I don't know, get their haircuts, whatever, go fishing, whatever. Those are the peripheral, lighter things that we do. What do we really mean when we say spiritual self-love? What are we really talking about here tonight?
Ultimately, it ties in with a lot of things. Like, for example, the whole "do unto others as you would have them do unto you." If you really love yourself, you're going to treat other people the way you would want to be treated. In other words, you're going to treat them nicely. You're not. You're going to realize they're important. That they're just as important as you are. And I would argue that every single person is important, is equally as important as everybody else. And that kind of ties in with the American philosophy. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and are endowed by their creator with certain blah, blah, blah.
Inalienable rights.
Yes.
Among them, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. So, and I believe in that. That ties in with self-love in a sense. So. And also, you have to realize the importance of other people in your life. Because, for example, during this whole COVID pandemic, I lost 5 members of my family. Not to COVID, but to other causes. Okay? Now, your family is not a group of people that you can expand very easily. But yes, you can expand the number of friends you have. And as luck would have it, for every single one of those people that I lost, I gained people that I would consider a friend, So that's that's even more valuable than somebody who's like a family member who you don't necessarily have the choice of being with or sharing your life with. Whereas you choose your friends, but you don't choose your family. In other words, as time goes on and you get older and older, your friends actually become more valuable to your personal development than your family.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yep.
True.
Well, and many of us have been criticizing ourselves for years. Wow, what is that?
Static. Ooh, what was
Whoa.
that?
Static.
Don't know what that was all about. Anyway, a lot of us have been criticizing ourselves for years, and that hasn't worked very well. So maybe try approving of yourself and what you're doing, and give yourself some support, just as you would get support from other people. Giving yourself the support and also having confidence in yourself helps a lot too. Because when you know yourself, then you know how you can be with others, you know?
I think that there is a misconception that that you come off love and light, or that you're kind and you're nice, is that you're weak. And this is a misunderstanding. Because someone is nice and kind and fun-loving and gentle does not mean or equate that they are insuperior or inferior or weak in any way, shape, or form. Oh, there we go. We're cleared. Yeah. So, love and light, but also know that in loving myself the way I do at this level and point, I have no problem saying no.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have no problem saying no.
Yep.
Done. And
not going there.
Not going to go there, not going to do that, or this is insulting to me, or whatever. As far as, whenever I see, patterns in people, and it's just like I look at myself and go, I've come out of all of those like vicious toxic cycles, and now I'm really seeing them for what they are really quickly. Like I'm more.
Isn't it amazing how you see that in others when it's going on, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, that's exactly what I looked like. That's how I was reacting.
Yes.
I just don't want to be that person anymore.
Yes.
I want to make some positive changes.
Yes. It's like you can watch the examples and go, that's exactly how I don't want to choose to continue. Or you can look at something or someone's behaviors and go, oh, this is a beautiful, like you can choose to, what am I trying to say here? It's like reverse psychology. Like, let's just take an example. Mary's mother works 3 jobs and is never home. And that taught her that you've got to find balance in your work and home life. You can't just be working all the time and ignore your home life, so you've got to find balance. But they were shown this example to learn from that wasn't so pleasant,
Go ahead, Mandy.
Yeah, go ahead, hon.
Yeah, it's not just about, sorry, I've just lost what I was going to say, but.
That's okay. I did it too. I was like, wait, what was I talking about?
Yeah, no, it was that, sorry, I don't know if anyone else was, just that sound that came through. And I've been finding that lately, even too, when I'm trying to communicate with people and even online, and we'll be hitting onto some good points, it starts to go a bit funny. But even too, so someone can only display the behavior towards us that we allow them to display. So if we don't feed into the behavior, then we stop that cycle right there. And it's really hard. So I'm going through this with family myself, is that I want to be there for them, but I can't allow the behavior that is being displayed towards me. So I'm having to go, no, these are my walls. And it's really hard, especially when it's a child or a sister or someone that we're really, really close to. So, but we only have people display the behaviors towards us that we allow them to display. So if we're not feeding into that and we go, and then that doesn't continue that, like.
Yeah. And I'd say that's part of self-love, as far as your evolutionary self-development. So I feel like that is very, very important, because you're it's almost kind of like you're showing or kind of discovering where you're at in your journey about, are you loving yourself? Are you loving others? How much are you loving yourself? But don't stress out, guys. Don't beat yourselves up if you're not perfect.
perfect.
You know, nobody's going to beat
You're
anybody up
perfectly
for not being
imperfect.
perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely not. So, Jules.
Don't beat yourself up, because there's 101 people out there that will happily put you down for you. Just give them a call and they will tell you don't need to do that to yourself. So, if there's that many people, just be there, have your own back. And it is so hard sometimes because we are so down in ourselves, especially when we can't do these things. But yeah, just if you want someone to put you down, just call one of those 101 people. And
yeah.
Did you know that inner self work and spiritualism can become a new addiction?
I've experienced that. Yes. Yes. Couldn't stop watching anything spiritual. I did a lot of Abraham Hicks, channeling Eric, all of it. And I just could not get enough of all of it. And I was consumed by listening to everything I could, because I just wanted the information. I was like, wow, now I'm aware of the universe and that they're there to help us and aiding us, and that they don't know the word no, they only know yes, the law of attraction. I mean, all of this stuff came in, and I just soaked it up like a sponge.
We were like,
and I'd fall asleep. I'd fall asleep listening to it. And God, it was just
I have
great.
a question.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Dalibor and I were chatting, and we were talking about the challenges that we've both had. The things that challenge us, that block us or penetrate our energy to the extent that it prevents us from practicing that self-love. And as a result, we end up, the description I gave to Lori was pretend you're in a car and you're going down the highway and there's a car in front of you that has this nasty exhaust system. And every so many yards, it just puts out this black smoke, and you end up inhaling it in through the windows of your car, and you got to roll your car windows up to keep from letting it penetrating you, because you're going to start coughing and gagging. And the next thing you know, you're going to start putting out little puffs of black smoke as you go down the road. It's like a chain event. It's a chained event. So there are things that occur that set it off in a tumbling pattern. You might not even be aware of it on a subconscious level, how much it's affecting you, especially those of us that are empaths in the spiritual community, because every time something happens, we go, nope, not putting up with that. Nope, that's not my energy. Nope, that's not where I want to be. But deep down inside, it's a stack, and you might think you've pushed it out, but it might be inside of you. And so you're going down the road and you're farting little clouds of smoke on everybody, and you don't even know you're having that. So Dalibor shared some experiences that he feels have blocked him, have kept him. So what was it about being pent up for a year and a half, Dalibor, and cut off?
Well, yeah, being pent up for a year and a half, I guess, was an experience in introspection, and it proved to me that I actually do love myself, in the sense that I can get along with myself. But if you can stand being alone, and you don't hate it. I mean, I love being around people, sure, but I've also discovered, because I've always been a social person. I mean, I own my own company. I've always owned some company. I've always been around people. I've always been out there, in other words. But the fact that I was forced to be here, and I'm in a foreign country where I don't know anybody, I don't necessarily speak the language that well, so on and so forth, has proven to me that I can do both. I can be by myself and be comfortable and happy, as well as be among other people and be happy as well.
Yeah.
So, because I know it's at this point, this whole COVID thing is kind of like a war. And I asked my parents, who were born during World War II, or my grandmother, who was born in 1923, like, what was it like during the World War II? And did you guys know that it would end at one point? And the answer was yes. We knew that it wasn't going to continue forever. We knew that it was going to end, and that's basically what gave everybody hope. It's just that nobody knew when it would end. Everybody knew that it would end.
Yeah. And we're human beings. We want it now. We want it right now.
Sure.
If you can be your own best friend for, just becoming your own best friend and being alone is the biggest.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I mean, time.
I went from taking care of 3 different age level children different levels of age,
Kids are
and
great.
and taking care of another household, to nothing, to just complete silence, and
Wow.
stores closed, restaurants closed, masks everywhere. Not even the neighbors come out and talk to you half the time. I do have some nice couple next door to me that say hi to me all the time. Gave me a burger the other day where they were cooking. But
That's cool.
for the most part, they're just people around here have just been so closed off, and no vacations, no ability. So you're alone talking to your plants. Well, that's great. I talked to Ruby. That's wonderful, right? My brother, he's in and out, and usually he comes in late at night, and there's not a whole lot of time for heavy communication. But there's just very little interaction, so you've got to learn how to be.
So
with
who pushed
yourself.
it? Everybody's forced to
Yeah.
do their work. Like somebody pushed the button, like
Inner work.
right now,
Yeah.
you need to sit with yourself. And I don't care if you're just itching to get out of your own body. You're going to sit through this, and you're going to sit down, and you're going to look. You're going to look and feel. And it's like, who pushed the button?
Yeah. But look how much it opened people up to themselves.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, people would not spend that kind of time and energy on themselves or any introspection. It just wasn't there, and now it is. And this is the amazing part of this transition from 2020.
It's like the universe just said, "Oh, right
Mandy,
now,
you got it."
Mandy.
So,
Mandy has.
So is it the fact it's interesting to see because some people aren't reacting very well to this. So it shows us how much we don't get time to ever sit by ourselves and just be, because this world forces us, like, okay, so you've got to be paying attention to your car as you drive to work, and then you drive home from work, and then you watch The Price is Right or something because you're just trying to shut down from your day. And then so we're always constantly busy, and we've got something in the background that doesn't allow us to hear our minds, essentially. And then also just the second thing was, so, Teresa, you and I have spoken about things being missing from your fairy garden and that. And now I wonder if, because these things would have happened before, but is it the fact it's more noticeable now because we're not getting that good interaction? So when somebody does something, like, I haven't spoken to anyone when I've been out with my fairy garden, but damn it, I went out there and someone took my rock. So it makes you upset because we're not having that positive interaction like we used to. So we're seeing more of the negative things.
Yeah. See everything. It's like you notice things that you never noticed before. Now, some things good, but some things like, I'll be darned, how long has that been going on?
Yeah, it's like when the first day that they released the lockdowns, or the curfews, I should say, and I was able to do my traditional nightly walk. Normally here in Germany, you have a lot of porcupines, and normally I just ignore them. Except this time, I took notice, and there was one right on my property, right next to my driveway, and I stood around and I waited for him to come out, and sure enough, he came out and showed himself. So I said, "Hey there. What's up?"
Yeah.
And so I checked him out for about 5 minutes. He checked me out, because porcupines aren't afraid of humans. And I went on my merry way. So, that was a way to reconnect with the animal kingdom too.
Yeah.
In that sense.
And last week, a lot of the show hosts, Crystal, Dalibor, just hit your mute button real quick. Last week, a bunch of the show hosts talked about, being triggered by folks who don't know how to treat other people nicely. They're suffering. I was telling somebody today, I can't remember which one of you it was now, that a lot of people came into this situation this past year and a half already with issues. We all have our issues. Some people suffer from antisocial personality. Some people are obsessive compulsive. Some people are depressed. The list goes on. And we're already working through those challenges on a day-to-day basis. And then this whole pandemic and this whole political situation worldwide, all the seeing things that are going on in the cosmos, all the things that are changing in the Earth's energies, it all is coming to a point, it seems. And so these folks are being doubly plagued in their recovery from these things. They're being so affected that they're just lashing out in anger and everything sets them off. And so it's very difficult to see somebody from the positive instead of the negative right away. There's an assumption, you're being this way. Well, how do you know that's what the person really meant? You don't know that because you're lashing out. I see a lot of it in a lot of chat rooms. And it's not because these aren't good people. It's because they're got their own journey, and
everybody's on a different path.
Everybody's on a different path.
There's profound changes going on in a very quickened manner. So to keep up with these changes in this reality, your reality, the big reality, this reality, this reality, all of it's changing so quickly and so magically that it's enough to confound the human soul.
Yeah. It is.
I feel like I've been prepared for many lifetimes and in this lifetime for this very moment. I've had recent challenges in the past, like I'd say 20 years, that have prepped me for this right now.
Right. Yeah.
But I allowed it to mold me and shape me into the being that I desire to be with integrity, love, compassion. Doesn't mean I'm nice and I'm a doormat. Just means that I'm nice, but I'm not going to take any shitty.
You've been on this journey for quite some time. In fact, I'm impressed by the number of people in our soul tribe who have been on this journey for 6, 7, 8+ years. Mine's more recent, because I got rid of religion and rejected it to the point where I didn't want anything to do with any, So it's taken me about 1.5 years now to get to where I am. That's been a long freaking haul. I can imagine for you all the cycles and how this has been. And then we have another whole group of folks that are just coming into it in the middle of this mayhem. Yep. So they've got twice the challenge we had, Yeah. But there are at least there's I put a list here together for you that you all can kick around and add to it. There are 5 ways that we can start to cultivate self-love. One is recognizing, because I think we all get frustrated when we don't do this. And this is part of my problem the past couple weeks. Recognize that no two people are exactly alike, even though genetics may predispose us to certain things. Each individual has their own set of fingerprints by which they are known. Even identical twins who may look alike and sometimes act alike do not share fingerprints. This means you are truly and completely unique. That fact alone is startling spiritual truth when you take a moment to digest it.
It really is profound. Like you just throw them all in one little area and see how they do.
We're learning how to be unique and individual. When you're in the etheric realms, you're part of the whole all the time, and love and peace and everything's wonderful. You have to come here for the contrast to learn how to be different, how to be an individual, and then take that back. Yep. And that's where the growth and the expansion comes from.
I tip my hat off to every single one of you. Y'all are soldiers, man. Soldiers.
Warriors.
Actually,
we are warriors.
You could say I've been on this path for 37 years. I mean, I started out
I've been on this path for lifetimes.
Yeah. I don't have that kind of commitment.
And actually, you might think that it gets easier, or that you actually get to a point where you realize that you know a lot, but you actually just get to a point where you realize you don't know anything.
The more you know, the more you don't know.
You realize that you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Just let go of needing to know.
Exactly. Yeah. And just enjoy the experience.
I think enlightenment would be one of my first addictions. That would be like a major addiction of mine, just like Lori pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So it was an addiction for me too.
Be addicted to gratitude.
Mandy, were you going to say something, honey?
Well, that's just that enlightenment is the highest frequency that we can have, and so we've all noticed these ups and downs, and some of us follow the Schumann resonance, and Jules will love this. Dalibor pointed this out to me the other night.
What is that? It's all backwards.
Human resonance.
Human resonance. Okay.
Human.
Human.
Yeah. Human resonance. Did it come backwards? Oh, I
have not seen the human right away.
All right. I did too. Turn it the other way.
There you go.
Human.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Humans resonance.
Okay, Jules, here you go.
Oh, here we go.
Come on.
So, not yet. Not yet. All right.
said it all.
Number 2, realize that each person does what they are capable of in their own evolution and journey.
Yes.
Beating yourself up because you did or didn't do something it's useless. Most people overcome obstacles and in doing so make a ton of mistakes along the way. It's why people value age because of the learning experiences. But instead of beating yourself up, embrace your journey and know that you are learning at each and every moment given to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it means you have to respect other people that are doing. You not only recognize this in yourself, but you have to respect that other people are doing that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And approve of yourself. Know that you're on the right path. You're doing the right things. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to trip and fall. Pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and just keep moving forward. Stay in the now.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up. Yeah.
And don't have fear of the future because it's not even here yet, you know?
Right. Now,
I used to beat myself up. I just thought there was so much, there was so much valor and self-loathing, you know, like, it's like, what?
Yeah.
No, you're suffering, dumbass. Just stop suffering.
Stop beating yourself up. Yeah.
Like, there's no use in suffering because it doesn't feel good. I'm a Libra. I just want to feel good. And it's not a sin. It's not a crime.
No.
To feel at peace and good than yourself.
Yeah.
Agreed.
No, it's not. And,
well said.
And I might feel any given moment, like this week or these 3 days, I might feel really cool, and somebody else does something that pisses me off.
You're like,
and I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I got a good example.
But I try not to look or listen. I do that evil, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
If you want an exercise,
it gets you. Yeah.
In that, the next time you're in your car and somebody cuts you off, and the first thing you want to say is, "You stupid mother," right?
Yeah.
I have to stop myself and go, so what? The guy just pulled out in front of me. Maybe he didn't see me. I've done it before. I've pulled out and went, oh, shit, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. And then you get the bird and it just gets escalated. Try this. The next time, just send him away with some love. You know what? Maybe you're having a tough day. Maybe you didn't see me. It's okay. Take all the space you need. I'm going to back off, and I'm not going to allow it to trigger me. And that's exactly the type of thing that you need to do in your regular life.
To allow? Or not to allow.
Or not allow. Am I going to let this get to me, or am I going to let it pass? Yes. I'm going to let it pass.
In that case,
that's what's best for me.
Go ahead, Mandy.
I would send love and the ability to drive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ability to drive.
Yeah.
I used to say, happy head on, MFer.
I'm always,
I would do things like that. I'm not kidding. I mean, I was bad. I could be really bad, but not anymore. I just don't see the point anymore. It's true. It's the truth.
I love you.
I agree. I used to call it hating positively, because I used to think if I was angry, it's intensive.
I have a reason to be upset.
Yeah, like it's intensive driver roadside education. But then I realized, like, I'm just getting angry. I'm just working up. I'm the one that gets home, and I'm like, oh well, that was just really having to go off like that.
You're the one blowing your top off in your car.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, I used to do that when I would see people with their babies all loose on the front seat driving the car. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But Mandy had her plants stolen.
I'm always the slowest guy on the road, so I don't care. I don't care how many people pass me. That's their problem. They're going to get into the accident.
I'd be like, get off the Xanax.
I used to flip the bird. I did. I'd be like, I don't do that anymore. But I did. Yeah.
I do.
I still flip the bird sometimes.
Me too. I'm like you. Like,
Yep.
But now, Mandy, how did you feel when you put all those plants in the ground, you gave it all your love, and you come home and your plants are gone? They actually dug up Mandy's plants and stole them out of her yard.
That's some shizzle.
And she was not happy.
Here's the love and light answer.
But
They
that's
must have
normally,
needed it more than you did.
Yeah, that's the love and light thing.
well, that's what I told her about. No. A couple days before, they took her potted plants in these gorgeous decorative pots. They took those first. I said, well, Mandy, maybe you've blessed somebody and you don't know it. That was all great. And Mandy's like, yeah, you're right. I never thought about it. Yeah, that's great, Teresa. 2 days later, they took my living plants. Like, whoa.
So how'd you get past that, Mandy?
That's crazy.
I whinged to people, and I'm like, what kind of sick person steals a garden over 3 nights? Like, we need to get somebody onto this, because they're not the kind of people we need walking around in society. And like, I went all CSI plant unit. Like, I'm like, they've taken it from this side of the garden because there's bits of dirt, and it took so much of my energy. But then I had friends
that
bring me.
You went
Size
further
12.
than that. You went further than that. You went all Mission Impossible. She was trying to figure out how to electrocute them so that she could take a car battery and rig it to the plants so that if they grabbed a pot or plant,
that's
they
good
could
thinking, girl. That's good thinking. I like the way you think.
And that's that need to get back at people.
No, I was wanting my plants back. I was going to do like a GPS, like fake plant, and then the other one that was in the middle, I was going to put like the cables underneath the rocks, and so when they went to pull it out,
there's an app for that.
If anybody could pull it off, it's Mandy.
But then I had to go, you know what? They've given me space to put new plants in, because I had friends bring me cactuses, and to find new cactuses, although it's really hard to get one of those parody ones, and that they stole first, but I understand why they stole that one. Okay, I understand. It's parody. Good for them. Like, but yeah, I had friends bring me cactuses, and it's given me a chance to find some new cactuses, and now get a bit more creative with how I set it up. So I'm avoiding the car battery, but I'm just other ones. So I'm making sure they're big cactuses with big long spikes that go straight through welding gloves. So, you know, if they steal it, they've earned it.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, people just do what people do, and some people don't know what they're doing. They're not conscious of what they're doing,
or they don't care.
So, Crystal, how do we know when we're enabling somebody versus when we're protecting our energy, or protecting the collective, or protecting ourselves versus enabling? How does that play into this whole?
Enabling, you're just going to continue that the person to be in your sphere of influence, and continue to welcome them into your places, you know, that you are, you know. When I cut people, it's see you later. And you know what? I just let go. Yeah. If they correct their behavior, that's going to be fortunate for them in their now moment and future. I have no qualms about whether it's to fix their behavior and be back into friendship. I don't care about that. I know that sounds really mean, but it's not about me. It's about, if they get healthy, that's their choice, and that's for their benefit from that moment forward. I was just there on that trip to that point to say, hey, I don't like this. I don't like what, it doesn't feel right. Something's nefarious. No. And they're blocked off. They're just blocked off. Yeah. Right. And I hate to have to do that, but enabling is giving the excuses. You know, they're depressed, so they have an excuse to treat people like crap, or, oh, they were abused. I was abused in every way a human being could be abused. But I made the choice as I was growing up to either continue the abuse or stop it. It stopped at me because that was my choice. Right. It doesn't give me the excuse to lash out at my friends, my family, and wake up in nefarious scams on people every day. Nothing, I mean nothing, not even a headache, gives you an excuse to treat anyone like crap. And if they stop you and tell you no, and they don't let you back into their sphere of influence, learn your lesson, or you don't learn your lesson.
When you do the right things happen. When you do the wrong things happen.
Yeah, when you're hating on life, life will seem to kind of hate you back. Yep. But when you're loving life, life will love you back. Yeah. You know, and sometimes you do kind of stand up for yourself and say, and your friends, and say, this is bullshit.
Mhm.
No, not allowed ever.
Yeah,
ever.
not going
I
to
don't.
tolerate that.
Yeah.
Not for a minute.
Yeah.
That's
And I
that's
don't
when
have
an
anything more to
empath.
say, so we're
That's
done.
that's
It's
actually
that
that's
easy.
actually there's an analogy for that just showed up on my Facebook page today. It was a meme. You know the big grouper monster fish with the light, and then there's the little
Anglerfish.
the angler fish,
Mhm.
and then the little empath fish is like, oh, look at their light, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah,
Yes.
that is what it's like, guys.
Dalibor, you were going to say something. I'm sorry. You
You
started.
go for it.
Sorry.
Yeah, actually, I mean, this is all rational, and that is the way you would deal with normal people. But what is the proper attitude to take towards people who are truly evil, in the sense of people who are the controllers, the Bill Gateses of this world, the you know, people like that.
Yeah.
It does go deeper, doesn't it?
What's the
That's
proper
another
attitude?
show.
What's the proper attitude? I mean, are we supposed to love them? Are we supposed to expect to forgive their behaviors?
I love you enough to cut your ass off. That's what I love.
I would see. I would say, yeah. The governments of this world are using us. They're making people go against each other. The left versus the right versus
Hate
the
that
left.
crap.
Yeah.
And whereas the real enemy all along is the government itself, and with their insane regulations and laws and stuff like that. I think that the most rational thing we could do is simply make fun of them, and start ignoring them.
Mm-hmm.
Really, don't even worry about it. Just be your own creative self, and don't even give it the energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Suck the energy into your own self, and don't even worry about it, because that starves the parasites out when you're not giving it. It's like the parasite is like a little temper tantrum 3-year-old that's like, mommy, mommy. And when you ignore them, it just drives them nuts.
Yeah.
This is the same thing. I ignore because I'm so busy in my own creative processes to not give that my energy at all.
Mm-hmm. It's too valuable.
Yeah.
And that leads to number 3, which is recognize that each moment is a gift. You never know what's going to happen or how things are going to change.
Isn't that
You're going with the flow, like Jules says. You go with the flow, and you never know what's going to happen, but you have to realize that we have our own significance and our own purpose, and that's what we focus on, is us, not the other people.
What's that song? New
Mandy,
York
you're
Minute?
muted, Mandy. You're muted.
Everything can change in a New York minute, guys.
Yeah.
Bruce Hornsby,
no doubt. Yep.
How long is a New York minute compared to an Australian minute? I'm just curious.
That long.
It's very short. It's very short.
I was just wondering what Jules had there.
Yeah, what is that, Jules?
Oh yeah, her sticker.
New bumper sticker.
Oh, it starts in a
in
garden.
a garden.
Yep.
Get your bumper stickers. Woo. Cool.
Yeah, we need to do another herb and garden show with Jules. Maybe we can get Gaza. Maybe we can get Gaza and Jules together.
Gaza?
That would be
Gaza.
and Jules together. Yeah, I like to call them Gary. Sorry, Gaza.
There you go. Yeah.
I just get stuck on Gaza. But it would be nice to have him and Jules together with some other folks to get back to what she's been doing with her herbs, because I want to know more about how to make these teas. You know, in one of his videos, he showed us the rose petals. He has this whole huge rose bush for privacy.
Oh, nice.
He could still see outdoors out his window, but instead of a painting, you've got these roses in this big open window, and they use it for tea. They make tea out of the roses.
I love rose tea.
I didn't know.
Yes.
Rose hip.
Roses are edible.
It's actually very high in vitamin C.
I had no idea. I'm like, I feel like a fool because I have a tea rose bush in my backyard, and I'm like, oh, that's why they call it tea rose.
That makes a lovely perfume. You could just put that in a little olive oil, warm it up for a couple of hours, few hours, turn it down on low, infuse it.
Ooh, there you
Very
go.
lovely.
Never realized it. And lastly, folks, practice loving self-talk. Sometimes the things we say to ourselves are the most awful, demeaning things anyone could ever say. instead of drilling into yourself how terrible you are, using self-defeating language, refrain and use language that builds you up, not tears you down. How many times have we seen people do that and they're kind of joking around, they put a little laughy face after it? But if it's continual and it's over and over and over, then you realize that person's working through something and they just need a brother or a sister to say, hey, you know, give them positive reinforcement. But about
it's
yourself,
like that with a
too.
hypochondriac. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm like, when are you going to be sick of being sick?
Yeah.
You know, are you sick of
Sick
when
and
do
tired
you
of
get
being
sick and tired?
Yeah.
You know, so you keep speaking this into existence and you keep getting what you're speaking and you can't figure your mouth. Your mouth.
Change your thoughts. Be conscious of what you're thinking. Yeah.
I mean, I'll joke
the
around.
power.
I'm one of those people that jokes around and makes fun of myself all the time. Just because I want to laugh.
That's
and I
fine.
like to make other people laugh.
It's your intention is to laugh, not to
God, you made me laugh so hard.
Like, I don't
today,
have to worry
Teresa.
about falling down the steps. I've got so much flab, I'll bounce.
Hey, girl, we all got that mommy belly right there.
It doesn't mean I'm sitting around all day long going,
That's
so fat.
man-made insulation.
Oh, yes.
Hey,
yes,
it's called love padding, darling.
There you go.
Love padding.
Love padding.
Yes, I love my padding.
Michelle Cannon-Free. Yes, be your own best friend.
Yes, always be your best friend. Because if you're not your own best friend, you're going to be a friend of us too. I mean, it's got to start with you in the garden.
Everything
the
starts
garden
with
of your
you.
heart, the garden of your mind, the garden of your soul, your spirit. You are the garden.
Right.
Water
it, love it, watch it flourish. Yeah. Don't water it, don't love it, see how quickly it dies.
That's right.
It will wither and die if you don't love yourself.
But now, doesn't it come down, and I know it's 10:06, Crystal, just so you know, heads up. Okay. But I know that, and Crystal, we've talked about this, I know that sometimes it's how we perceive our role. So if we perceive our role to be, I can't be happy and I can never get anywhere or do anything because I'm always doing this for somebody else, or I'm self-sacrificing myself and I'm never getting what I want. And if I don't do that, then I'm going to be a bad person because then it means I'm selfish, because self-love means being selfish.
It's not selfish.
No,
so that's a twisted way of looking at things. No offense to anybody who might be thinking that way, but you need to understand
it's not selfish.
That's where you get yourself enslaved. And trapped in your own mind, is by thinking that if I don't do this, I'm not a good wife, a good mother, a good friend, a good daughter, a good son. Because I'm putting myself first, and my training and upbringing all my life is to put others before myself.
See, that's the
Let
thing.
go of all those expectations.
Oh my God!
First of all, you have to be a good human before you're a good citizen. That should be the number one priority. Be a good human rather than be a good citizen, rather than being a good taxpayer.
But you see, some people have been programmed to think that being a good citizen means giving up your pleasures, giving up your basic
self-sacrificing is
human
all it is.
needs, your own self-love needs.
Who's gonna do that if you can't do it for yourself?
If you can't do it, there's nobody left.
Exactly. Yep.
So you got to do it yourself, and the way you got to do it is to set healthy boundaries so that you can still help when you can, but you still have to put yourself. If you're not putting yourself as number one, then how are you going to be a long-term value to anybody else? Because you're going to build up these angers and these frustrations, and you're going to build up resentment, and then you're going to have a miserable life.
Oh, there she goes.
Jules, there she goes. It's Oracle time anyway, so perfect timing.
Do it, girl. Shine that light.
What you just said, my sisters used to say to me, oh, you're number one in Dad's eyes, you're number one. You're number one in Dad's eyes, you're number one. And then when I become number one in the world for sales, I thanked them for telling me that I was number one.
Yeah. Because you believe that.
They told me I was going to be. So, hello. There you go.
Wow.
So that, and those, I joked about it, of course, to them when they said that, but that's what they used to say all the time. So
I believe no one's broken that number one and have they?
No, I think they have, Mandy. Don't worry. No.
See, that's all nice, but like I always say, you'll never, on your deathbed, you will never regret not having spent enough time at work.
I've been fucking working for a fucking long time.
I know.
Yeah.
But I have chosen in the last whatever years it is to not work for nobody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I've chosen this.
Yep.
This is this lifetime right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as I haven't changed my name on the screen, but some of you would have known I've changed my name to Julianne Margaret. They're my given names that I was born with. I am Julianne Margaret.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I am. That's who I am. It's taken all this time to actually use my name that I was born with, because I don't put Margaret in things. I'm just Julianne, or it's Jules, or it's whatever. And so this week I've had a lot of information come to me, and I'm not going to share it because this is my path.
Okay.
It's not necessarily to be shared with everybody because everybody's on their own path. I've shared my book with shared my book with you, and everything that's in my book virtually can tell you how to be.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Practice imagining a pretty view. What your real eyes see depends on you. So if you think your world is crap, well, keep getting it.
Wow, you guys.
Yeah.
You know?
This you've got to hear this. Mary Wynn says, so you guys, today I was gardening and the phone rang and I didn't answer it because I was gardening. So I came in the house, washed my hands, and I just looked at the phone and it said Brian Barnett.
Burnett, Burnett.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Wow.
We know what she means.
We know what you mean.
Yeah.
So
that's really interesting.
that's it. And so everybody's on their own journey.
Yes.
Everybody's doing their own thing. And Julianne's chosen to not be on technology for a few days, and everybody might think, what's going on? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong.
There's
Healthy.
nothing wrong.
That's what's right.
That's what's right about it, is you don't have to be sitting on technology all the time. So Julianne has been integrating all this information that she's got this last week. And like I said, it's my path because I'm using my name. I'm integrating to be who I came here to be. And I was born Julianne Margaret.
Yeah, and I'm getting every second of what you're sharing on that, and I'm absorbing it too. And I'm like, whoa. So some of the stuff that Wayne had talked about a few weeks ago in relation to this.
No, but it's not.
I know it's not
only that.
Yeah.
It's just that I've been thinking about it for a long time to use my middle name because that's the name that I am. And so yesterday when I was receiving a lot of stuff,
Margaret.
I went and looked at Margaret, what it means, and it means pearl. So we know what a pearl is, right? It's got luster, it's got its integrity and its purity. But look at the word integral. It's integrity. It's gritty. And of course that's what a pearl starts off as, grit, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so you look at the word Margaret, it's Magra and right, Marguerite, Magra. Now, Magra means path, right. Okay?
Nice.
Yep, you're on the right path.
And that's interesting because that ties in with my middle name is Maria, and Margaret and Maria means the oceans, and Margaret also has an aspect of mar or ocean in it.
And I'm Teresa Maria, and the name of our company is Right Path Construction Management.
There you go.
They used to be
I'm
Right
Crystal
Path.
Dawn.
It used to be Right Path Computer Services.
No, but you know,
that's just you can't. The synchronicities there are just incredible.
That's awesome.
Because my company was called Right Path Information Management Systems Incorporated.
Get out of here!
For 20 years.
You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit
for
up.
20 years, and then now my
That's
brother
a good name.
spent it because There was a division there for construction management, so he spinned it to Right Path Construction Consulting.
Wow.
So it's always been there.
Guess you're on the right path.
That's what everybody's here doing. What if you do
Just
what
walk
you
your
love,
path. Do it with
You
love
do
and
it.
integrity. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Common courtesy
Yeah.
goes a long way.
Yeah,
Just be
that's
the
right.
best you can be.
that's
You know?
right. You can only be you.
No one
Yes.
else can do it.
No.
And
And
then-
if you're getting cut off and people are cutting you out and
Mandy.
off and
No,
away,
Mandy.
it's time to do a little introspection on
Yeah.
why that's
Yeah.
happening.
What's up, Moo? What'd you say, Mandy?
No, that's always a saying that I've said is be yourself. Unless you can be Superman, then be Superman. But if you can't be Superman, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Well,
All
we're
right.
super.
Well, I don't have Jules. Do you have anything else you'd like to share before we? Any final? You good?
That's just
Good.
yes, get in the garden and connect with nature.
Yeah.
Because that's the truth. Everything else is just a story, and Jules is not going to be saying much anymore.
Much here.
Okay,
You've
don't
lost
need
your
to.
muchness.
Mhm.
And it's
You
okay.
lost your muchness.
it's all being said.
Yeah. Right.
Uh-huh.
Now it's time to just integrate
Right.
an experience. Yeah,
Yep.
I understand that. I've been at that point where, okay, I've said it, I've done it. Okay, now it's just time to just rest
Just be
and
it, do it.
integrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
be
there.
it. Just
Yep.
be it.
That's it.
Just be.
Because there's huge energy coming in, guys. It's very, very
Yeah.
fast. It's
Mhm.
very, very fast. And
Yes.
it's really, you have to be present in your own present. It's already happened. We've already won, as I say, and whatever you want to think, whatever, but the whole thing is to just be in that space, because it's
Be.
going to be different
Yeah.
from what I got this month, this week in the
it already
images
is
I
for
was given.
me.
Yeah. Well, I'm Julianne Margaret. I'm integrating that into
Yeah.
me. The energy is powerful and it's very fast. So
Mhm.
things are going to turn pretty quick soon, guys.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
just be in your own presence.
Right.
That's
Right.
all I can say.
Mhm.
And
It's
also,
powerful.
Brilliant.
when
Well,
we're
we
in
do
the
love
garden
you.
and when we're in nature, we tune in the same way animals tune in with nature. They know when things are going to happen first because they're
Yeah.
in the earth. The earth is
Mhm.
telling them. So when we tune in more with the earth talks to us back in certain ways. And it's not going to necessarily be like, oh, hey, Mandy, how you going? Like, it's just the knowing. It's just like...
Just know.
Mhm.
You just know.
Yeah.
Trust the intuitive part of yourself as well.
That's it.
You know
That's
when
it.
it feels right. Yeah. And a lot of people have a
Exactly.
hard time with that intuitive. But test yourself,
Light.
listen to it and see what
That's-
happens.
If it's light, it's right. If it's heavy, it's not right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I like
how,
Oh
that.
man, do you know how it's just like convicted me right now? Like, oh, I feel so convicted right now because I've got some heavy stuff, and I need to make that choice. Do I,
Well, that
Yeah.
keep holding
that's
that on,
everybody's
holding
stuff.
it in, or do I
No,
just go?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
That's
we'll
where
miss
it
the
is.
energy workshops, Jules. They were fun. And you taught us a
Mhm.
lot. So
Yeah.
we'll miss that.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you
great.
so much.
Thank you for everything
know,
you've done.
Everything.
I'm not saying
I'm
I'm
so
not going to be here. It's just that
But it's
there's
just in a
nothing
different.
I'll
Yes.
just
Yeah,
say-
you're going to go back to being the oracle like you were in the beginning, where you sat there and took it in, and then
Yep.
at the end you help us bring it together, and that's very important too.
Yes.
She is the ever observer, and
Yes,
that's what
she
I
is.
really truly love about Jules, is because
Yep.
she knows how to observe things, and she
a very
picks it up,
beautiful.
and she doesn't
observer.
have to say anything.
She
It's
kind of
just
paved the
absorbed.
way for me because I used to be like, "Bap, bap, 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 bap." So now I kind of do.
There
Somebody
is
will say,
one thing-
"Teresa fell asleep." No, I'm still here.
is another thing is you don't have I know a lot of you go into the protecting yourself, but it's only you. Who are you protecting you against? It's only you're protecting
Yeah.
yourself against. So if you think you have to be protected, you've already bought into the fear and that you're not powerful enough to do it yourself.
But
Yes.
you are
So-
strong enough.
Yeah,
are
so you don't
powerful.
have to do 6 Hail Marys and a genuflect to blow and be protected.
No.
Right.
Well, no, funny you should mention that real quick. There's something called crack repair. And that is that I have a very strong protective bubble. Very strong. People have thrown things at me and tried to do things to me, and it just bounces back and screws them up because I've made that intent.
It's your God bubble.
Okay? It's my bubble with Creator
Mm-hmm.
and Great Spirit of Christos, Spirit,
Right.
that I connect with and my higher guides, and I am protected.
Oh,
Now, that doesn't mean I'm impervious to, that I'm not vulnerable to an occasional foundation crack.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because if once you say I'm here and I'm it and I'm perfect, look out. Look the frick out, because the universe is going to go, really?
Let's see
you
how
are?
perfect you are.
You are?
Let's test you.
Let's just see.
Oh,
how
I just
perfect
love
you
how
are.
the universe
Every
tests us.
So you
single-
got to do crack repair is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the butt crack, okay?
Every single person is vulnerable.
Crack kills.
Every single person.
We're human.
No
We're
exception.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right on.
So if in your, it doesn't need to be daily, but at least once a week, I will go through, and I didn't do it the past 2 weeks, and I had some vulnerability. So today, this morning, first thing I did, I took Ruby, I went down into the woods to her favorite creek. I took my medicine blanket, I sat on the ground, and before I sat down, I did my, respect and gratitude for the great spirits of the north, south, east, and west. Did my sage, did my cleansing, had my connection time, and I purged all that negativity right out, and I handed it over to the universe. I said, something got into that bubble, and I was confident enough to say nothing can break my bubble. That's not true, because we're also human beings, and so every now and then there's a little crack.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't hurt to do this purging and this cleansing periodically, in my opinion, now that I've been through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll incorporate it into my care, my self-care package.
Right. The key
Yeah.
is
Your
just
ritual.
recognizing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're rich.
right.
Yeah.
You're
You're
right,
right.
you all.
You're
It's
right.
what
You're right,
you
you
do for you. Rituals.
Right.
You're right, you all. It's what
Mhm.
you feel
My
is
right
right
for me.
you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got grounded by it, and my little sister holding the mirror up. I love you, Mandy.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good job, Mandy.
So I
Thank you,
trimmed
because-
all.
That was a little bit of ego on my part.
Yeah, we all go through this. We all
Okay.
do. We're not impervious to
Yeah.
it. None of
Yep.
us.
That's
I did
Yeah.
a little trimming back of all the tomato plants and all the lemon
Yeah.
balm, and it was like, and as I was trimming it, I realized that the universe has trimmed me too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gone
Yeah.
in and pruned off all the
Yeah.
old and overgrown and
Yeah. Oh, I
hanging
love
down
that
and
analogy.
pulling me
Yeah.
off.
That's
And
brilliant.
it's like,
Yeah.
well, just as I prune the plants, I too will get pruned.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Good
right.
job.
That's right. If you prune leaves in the garden, and you got to prune yourself every now and then too. Oh, that's a nasty yellow leaf.
Yeah.
I didn't
Don't
even
need
know it was
that
there.
anymore.
I didn't even know it was there.
What's
But
that?
there's
Yeah.
a thorn.
You relief like mother does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
What
you
is
got there,
that?
Mandy? What is
This
This
that,
is a
Mandy?
mindfulness meditation garden. This pot cost me $3, and this is
Nice.
just a cutting that I got from a neighbour's lawn. I'm pretty sure
Cool.
just a small cutting. I didn't take the whole plant, and it grows very quickly. And I call it my mindfulness meditation garden, because how the plant is very much a teller on where my mind is at, for instance. And I do it with a couple of scissors, so a little pair of shears, and then some little sewing scissors to
I'd
neaten it
say
up.
it was your neighbour that pinched your herbs or your things because you pinched something of his.
Oh,
Yeah.
no! My neighbour from around the corner, she's wonderful. She's wonderful. She lets me take the lavender and stuff. So, and that's from my house. But so just these little things that you can do, and the inside garden. If you don't necessarily can't get outside and have a garden, just that little mindfulness pot.
Sure.
And I call it my
That's so cool.
mindfulness meditation garden. So you can do it even on your desk at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Good
guys,
on you.
go out and get a pot of
Yes,
something.
Jules, I want
Yep.
one. I want
Yeah,
one of
we all
those,
want
Jules. Mail me one.
Well,
Yeah,
send
$50
me
for
your
a sticker.
address.
I'll probably get it just in time to put on my new car.
$50 for we lost Jules. There she
There
goes.
she goes.
Uh-oh.
There she is.
There she is.
And I just want to thank Crystal Lori, and Mandy, and Dalibor, all of you, and Jules, for sticking with me this past week and a half, because it meant a lot. Michelle, you're in there too. Audrey, my sisters and brothers, and I really appreciate it. Gaza's showing the love with his gardening stuff. Brother Barry checking in with me every now and then, sending me a funny thing, so I really appreciate my brothers and sisters. It meant a lot to me, especially these past couple weeks, because sometimes you just don't know. You don't see things yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm great. And the more you, of course, the more you go along, the more you do. I'm sure there's an advancement there.
Yeah.
But it still helps. It still helps to have a trust. I trust a group of people that that will help hold me up and go, stop it.
Snap that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny.
So I appreciate it.
I did want to let everybody know that we're going to do, Teresa and I are going to do the card reads. Anybody that wants to join us, come on in, please do.
Okay,
not going to be with Mom this weekend, taking a break. So we're definitely going to do the card read. So
cool.
Saturday night, let's do it.
And Nina's got her thing on Sunday.
Sunday. We're having a merch party. She hit 1,000, so we're gonna celebrate. So if anybody got any of her shirts or anything for her, just get on there and join us. There's gonna be a contest to win some free things. So please join us.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan.
Yep. And if anybody has any experiences with UFOs or taking extensive film of it, or want to just talk with Robert, please email him. What is his email address? Milky Way Soul Tribe at gmail.com.
That's it.
Yeah. Because Robert could use some help. Give him a call if you have his number. Send him a text message on his phone, or send him an email, because he really wants to talk about some of this recent activity that's going on. He just wants to talk about it. And if you know anybody in the field that you can recommend to Robert, please do so.
Yeah.
Okay. And because Trina's got some things she needs to tend to this weekend. That's why she couldn't be here tonight with us. And so she's going to be kind of wrapped up. And Robert is looking for someone to team up with, and for his shows. So get a hold of Robert. Okay. So
I'm often in the field.
And are you seeing UFOs? Are you filming UFOs? Because some people are
there are a lot of. It's been weird. It's been weird lately. People been coming out going. What is
Mandy
that?
has.
Well, everybody's got a cell phone in their hand now and a camera. That's amazing. So
I got one.
Mandy, your voice is off. You're muted, honey.
Is it still a UFO if it lands?
Oh.
That's an unidentified crawling object.
I love how your brain works, Mandy. I really do.
I don't sometimes in the morning when I'm still having coffee, and she pulls that on me, and I go, "What?"
It's like those dolls. You pull the string. You pull the string.
Her intellect is right up here, and I'm always like, "Huh?"
It takes you a few minutes to catch up.
Just a few.
I love it.
That's cute.
Alrighty, you guys. This was really, really amazing stuff, and I'm very grateful to be amongst the finest people I could have found at this moment in time. So. I'm very grateful for that. And you guys have no idea. I get so emotional because I feel so deeply, you know? So I live in gratitude for each and every one of you and everyone in my life, not just here, but in my life here, you know. I love the people that I'm with and that I'm around and that I spend my time with, you know. And, I'm just so focused on building a beautiful reality and having beautiful experiences with the garden or with the forest or with the water or with a human being. And to me, that is the most important thing. And everything else is just kind of like, it's just a little riff-raff around the edges, you know, like distractions and, you know. So, but let's just focus on keep continuing to be your own light. You know, be the candle, Be your
Yep.
own, be your own guru, be your
Yeah.
own leader. It's not easy being a leader.
Oh,
You
she
know?
stripped her wings. Woo!
Like,
It's hot in here. I got the lights on.
Gotta watch taking things off. Don't
because
answer any.
G,
I will
you are
say it.
you. You don't need a guru.
No,
G,
you
are you.
are you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need a guru.
No, you need
No.
only look for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
Awesome.
love you.
on.
And we love all of you so much, and we
Yep.
appreciate you coming and being in the
Yep.
chat, and spending time
Yeah.
with us here. We hope that you've got something from this, even if it was just enjoying some friendships and
Mhm.
time with friends,
Some
and
carry on.
coffee or tea. Yeah, some chit chat. Alrighty, you guys, stay tuned for tomorrow, Saturday's card readings, and Sunday over there at Nina the
Yep.
Mystics channel.
Yep.
And get in touch with Robert. Go get your Soul Tribe cards. We love you guys so much. Peace.
Bye,
Peace.
everyone. Thank you.